I don't know if I'm one of the few people left on this earth that still washes dishes by hand. I don't know if you all use dishwasher, but I like to do that. That's what people did back in the day, and I think it's a good, healthy practice. But regardless, can you imagine if you're there washing the dishes and you're washing the outsides of the bowls and the plates, but you actually don't wash the inside? Imagine how pointless that would be. And that is what Jesus is saying today to the Pharisees. He's saying you're so concerned about the outside, about the appearance, that you forget about the most important part. It's the inside, the heart. And all of us can reflect on our own lives and think, how often do I try to show others how good or how holy I am, and I neglect looking at my own heart, my own soul, what is inside? You know, it's sad that oftentimes we find almost our complete identity in people's affirmations of us. What if people like us or if they don't? You know, people can have literal crisis in their life because they didn't get as many likes on Facebook as they would have liked. And that's really sad that we base so much on other people's opinions. How much energy and time we put in trying to just be affirmed by others, be loved by others. What about God? How much time and energy do we put in cleansing our own hearts and growing in that love for God? All of us have a part of a Pharisee in all of us. All of us have, on some level, we struggle with worrying more about the exterior than the interior. But God reminds us today that the interior is what matters. What good is it if everyone thinks what a saint I am and then, I live in sin? Or I'm not worried about the interior virtues. That's what God cares about. How often do you all think about that? How often do we think about that? How important it is to be holy, truly holy, not just appear holy. Is that something you strive for in your life? To be holy? And that's a question, we all should ask ourselves frequently. Am I truly striving to be holy and not just look holy? Because at the end of the day, people's opinions are fickle. They don't matter. They don't, one day they love us, the next day they don't, and yet all of that passes away. All of that has very little importance in God's eyes. What matters is how God sees me. And so, brothers and sisters, I just invite you to reflect on this question. What is more important to me? The inside or the outside? The interior or the exterior?